Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Well, okay, you.
Free, free Palestine!
Free,
Free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free!
From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free!
Welcome, folks. Okay. My name's Madeline. I'm a member of the Party for Socialism and Liberation, and this is Sarah. We're here to demand an immediate arms embargo on Israel, unrestricted humanitarian and medical assistance in Gaza, an end to U.S.-funded genocide of Palestine and Lebanon, and U.S. and Israel hands off Iran and Yemen. Can you cover for me?
Yep.
Frank's gonna read what I wrote out.
Is that working now?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Put this in. Khalil was a graduate student at Columbia University and the lead negotiator during last year's pro-Palestine student encampments. On March 8th, he was abducted by ICE agents from his university-owned apartment and taken to a Louisiana detention facility where he has been held ever since. Khalil was a green card holder with permanent residency. This attack on free speech and First Amendment rights is an escalation of the attacks against the entire working class. It is a test for Trump to see how far he can push the boundaries of the legal system. A test to find new ways to crush those who are working towards liberation. Liberation of Palestine and liberation from the ways the ruling class oppresses us here at home. We are in a multiple front war. We understand those fighting in the resistance on the front lines in Yemen, Lebanon, and Gaza, and how impossibly difficult their task is. But here, the main front we have in the United States is the narrative war. The capitalist system we live in means it is the rich who control all our information. The rich spread the messages that are beneficial to maintaining their control. They are not concerned about truth or justice. And because we are out here spreading the truth, a truth that shines a light on the atrocities they are committing here at home and abroad, our ruling class wants to suppress our speech, to destroy this supposed pillar of American freedom. It is a Zionist lie that Israel is needed for Jewish safety. A lie that an apartheid ethno-state is needed anywhere in the world. 50,000 men, women, and children have been murdered in Gaza. At least. That is the counted. Do we remember when the Zionists told us they would never bomb a hospital? The Zionist lies that Israel is needed for Jewish safety and that a free Palestine looks like the oppression that Israel does is not true. The idea that it looks the same, like the same genocide that Israel is doing, is not true. The fear of Palestine is a fear of what they themselves do turned around. Every accusation is a confession. We demand an immediate arms embargo on Israel, unrestricted humanitarian and medical assistance in Gaza, an end to the U.S.-funded genocide of Palestine and Lebanon, and U.S. and Israel hands off Iran and Yemen. No more war! No more! We hold the current U.S. administration responsible for the resuming of genocide and the war in Palestine, Lebanon, Yemen, and Syria. We condemn Trump threatening confrontation with Iran. Just as the previous administration supported Israel's genocidal colonial efforts, the Trump administration continues these same acts of imperialism. Who's next? Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free, free Palestine!
Free, free, free Palestine!
I'd like to invite Summer up next. Summer is a local Palestinian comrade here to speak on her experience. No?
Sorry, just 1 second. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Oh, we have a blow up.
Yeah, that might be. With the wind, it's like, it's struggling.
That's all right.
I'm so sorry.
No, I think it works because we're all close.
How's this one? There we go.
Oh, that's way better.
Thank you so much.
Does that work? Yeah, just press the button.
Hello,
There we go.
my name is Summer, and I'm going to be reading a poem by Farah al-Fayez. My coffee tasted bitter today, not because it was burnt or unsweetened, but because I scrolled past a child without a head before my first sip, because I saw a man digging out his daughter's body with his bare hands while mine were wrapped around a ceramic mug, because I watched cold bodies tear through the air while my cup stayed warm between my hands. Al-Qiyamah Qamat. But only in Arabic, apparently. In English, it's conflict. In boardrooms, it's sensitive. In algorithms, it's against community guidelines. Tell me, how do we still know how to sip our coffee? With blood on our screen and warmth in our hands? Maybe the end of the world doesn't come with sirens. Maybe it comes with silence and coffee that still steams. Thank you. I know a 5-year-old boy who was forcibly displaced in the 1967 Nakba. Well, maybe that boy is no longer 5, but somehow a part of him always will be. The part that still has nightmares, the part that feels fear, and the part that is deeply wounded. He's raising his children with kindness and love, knowing what the world is capable of. Because that's just the strength and resilience Palestinians have. We're here today so we can let 5-year-olds be kids and grow and most importantly, live. Thank you and free Palestine.
Free Palestine! Next we have Juno.
You got this.
The United States government is spending billions of dollars on slaughtering brown kids and women and families in a land we have no business being, all to support the white settler ethnicity of Israel. In 2024, the U.S. defense budget totaled $883.7 billion. That averages $2.4 billion every single day. $2 billion million dedicated to exclusively unimaginable violence every single day. Every weekend and holiday and leap days, the government chooses to build bombs and missiles instead of ensuring the welfare of its own citizens. American factories and American workers are being used for their genocidal agenda. The government has forced us into complying with their destructive and genocidal global imperialism by keeping workers desperate so they don't have the time to step out of line. But we demand an arms embargo. Every weapons shipment to Israel is a failure of our government beyond measure, a cruel and indefensible act of war. We are suffering, globally. Working class people, disabled people, queer people, brown and black people. But we cannot let our circumstances diminish our collective rage at a corrupt empire empowering the Holocaust before our eyes every minute of every day. Their freedom is our freedom. A liberated Palestine given the opportunity for self-determination will be a model for all oppressed and colonized peoples. The character of a society should be judged by how our poorest neighbors are treated. Killing children and families and journalists and healthcare workers is a dark, bloody stain on humanity's timeline. There is a genocide going on. What Palestine is experiencing is a Holocaust. Even the most politically centrist should recognize that Holocaust denial is a heinous and evil belief, an idea that cannot be tolerated in any measure. Why are we denying a genocide, a Holocaust, going on right in front of our eyes? We deny it through our ignorance and complacency in a deeply corrupted system. We deny it through inaction. We deny it when we wait for elections for the so-called chance for a change rather than take to our political and industry leaders now. Today, tomorrow, next week, next month, every day until we have dismantled this rotten genocidal system that enables the murder, kidnapping, and oppression of anyone who stands against them, anyone who stands up for their neighbors. We are all neighbors on this earth. Palestine is our neighbor. Sudan is our neighbor. The peoples of the Congo are our neighbors, as much your neighbor as the immigrant down the street as your disabled relatives. The imperialists will not stop at Palestine. First they come for your neighbor, and then they come for you. It doesn't matter who you are, every life is disposable under capitalism and imperialism. Liberation is possible. A free Palestine is possible.
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Casey? You ready?
Woo!
Okay, I can do it.
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free, free Palestine!
Free, free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free, free Palestine!
Free, free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free, free Palestine!
Free, free, free Palestine! All right, we're gonna give Casey a moment. I'm gonna go ahead and give my quick remarks here. I want to start this by talking about why we're out here. Because we are not out here as some sort of charity event. We are not some sort of bleeding heart liberals out here just because it's so terrible what's happening. It is terrible. And it is not just terrible. It is systemically terrible. This is something that has been going on in our name, on our dollar, and we have to stand up to decide our future. I am tired of every single decade another forever war starting in my name. It has been our entire lives out here. Most of us are younger than the war on terror. That is wrong. We have people abroad dying for nothing, for no cause. The people that are dying for a real cause are the Yemeni people who are standing up for Gaza. They're standing up for liberation. They're the Lebanese people that are fighting against the occupation. What I want to say is that the freedom of speech has never been given to us. The freedom of our lives has never been given to us. It has been something we have fought tooth and nail for every day to make a reality. Yesterday there was a rally in the park defending Medicaid. And I heard a lot of people that were desperately needing their Medicaid. But what I didn't really hear is the historical context. And that is that we won Medicaid. not a gift from our ruling class. It was a spoil of war, a spoil of the class war that we fight every day on our own soil. The freedom of speech was not a gift from some people up on high. In the 1930s, even in this region, there was class war every day to get the freedom of speech. There were unions fighting for the freedom of speech. The Socialist Party was fighting for the freedom of speech, and when they were out in the streets, the cops were crushing them. The union busters were out in force. The FBI was crushing them, and they're doing it today under the name of ICE. Mahmoud Khalil was not arrested because he was an illegal immigrant. He was not arrested because he did a crime. He was not arrested, and by arrested, honestly, we shouldn't even use that word. He was kidnapped by plain-clothes officers that did not identify themselves and had no proper warrant. He was kidnapped because of his use of the First Amendment right to freedom of speech, exercised in a way the empire didn't like. At the end of the day, we are the people that create everything because we are workers. We are those that do things. But our wealth is taken from us to fund a war machine that kills our brothers and sisters around the world. I'm not here because of the tears I shed for children. If I just was sad, I wouldn't be out here with all of you. I am sad. Those children are my children. All children are my children. And that is what we need to say as people that want liberation, as people that need a future. Socialism says all children is the responsibility of all of us. And that's what we need for the future. We need a free Palestine. We need a free proletariat of the United States. We need a future for us, a socialist future that frees the world. Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free, free Palestine!
Free, free, free Palestine!
Hi, my name is Casey. I'm with the Party for Socialism and Liberation. History, good and bad, do not show as clearly as told in our American history books. But we know this to be clear. Nearly all Palestinian land has been taken. This is not the fault of the Jewish people. This is a colonizing country that is Israel's fault. Israel is trying to genocide Palestinians in order to make an enclave in the Middle East for profit. The richest 1% of our country, the ruling class, make our government use more tax dollars towards war rather than access to healthcare, transportation, or other social goods. More than 2 times the people of Johnstown, 50,700 Palestinians, almost all women and children, have been killed after October 2023, based off the UNRWA. Other estimates are higher. These are people who have done no wrong and are being killed. Biden sent $17 billion in what was called wartime assistance to Israel. Now Trump has sent $12 billion US tax dollars in weapons to Israel. The federal HUD estimates that it would need $20 billion to end homelessness. This is not a time you can stay quiet. This is not a time you can do nothing about. It is a time we must do everything about. It's a similar idea to the idea that first they came for the Palestinians. But we must stand up because we should stand up not only because we might be next, but because it is what is right. A time where genocide is occurring is not a nuanced time. We will not stay quiet, we must stand up. The rich are not really about a ceasefire in the area. The rich want people who are for a free Palestine to be scared, back down, and forget. Mahmoud Khalil's green card was taken when he was almost finished with his master's degree at college. Mahmoud was for a free Palestine. That is censorship. It is clear that we must stand up. Palestinians are not the idea of non-negotiating Hamas terrorists. Similarly, how the rich before wanted the indigenous people of this country to seem violent, non-negotiating, and as savages. People in power want to silence other people. People in power want us to forget Palestine. People in power want us to hate Palestinians. We will not forget Palestine. We will not forget, we must stand up. No one else will do it for us. Free Palestine.
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
June? Thank you. Hi, my name's June. I'm from the Pittsburgh branch of the Party for Socialism and Liberation.
Thank you.
I just want to start off by thanking all of you for welcoming me into your town. You're very warm and gracious people, and I wish I could spend more time here, and I definitely want to come back soon. The topic I will be speaking on today is the importance of fighting and speaking up for Palestine, no matter where you are. One of the things I've run into while organizing for Palestine in Pittsburgh is the idea that organizing there simply has no point because I'm in a liberal bubble. Well, I'm here to tell you that that isn't true. Pittsburgh is enmeshed in the genocide. I don't know if you know this, but there's a local company named Howmet that produces parts for the F-35 jets currently bombing Gaza, Lebanon, Syria, and Yemen. The students of our universities like Carnegie Mellon University and the University of Pittsburgh, design weapons for the Department of Defense, who then transfer those technologies to the Israeli military. Our police have been trained by Israeli security forces to use the same repressive tactics on Pittsburghers that are used on Palestinians. This is part of something called the deadly exchange. Our city uses data services and other products from companies like Google that aid the occupation, which means that my tax dollars, whether or not I like it, are being used to support the occupation.
Shame.
So I reject the idea that there is no point in fighting for Palestine in Pittsburgh. Because as long as the occupation continues, and as long as my city aids the occupation, it is my duty to oppose it and to explain to others why they need to oppose it as well. Now, I'm sure you probably heard similar but different arguments here in Johnstown. That people here are simply too conservative to care about this, so you should just give up. That Johnstown is too small a town to really matter anyways in the fight for Palestine. Isn't it funny that no matter if you're in a big city or a small town, you're told to be silent? That if you're a student, you're told you're disrupting education? That if you're at your workplace, you're told that now is not the time for politics? This is not an accident. The ruling class, the people who benefit from a permanent military outpost in the Middle East, who understand and fear your power. They know that if you and your neighbors were to stand up and fight, that there is no force on earth that could oppose you. They want you to give up, to be passive and isolated. And so whenever you feel demoralized or depressed, I want you to know that that is the result of enemy action. It's not because there's something wrong with you, it is because there's something wrong with the world. The same people who exploit and oppress you at home, the capitalists, the ruling class, the imperialists, they want you to not unite and fight with the people they are trying to exploit and oppress abroad. If we fight, we are not guaranteed a victory. But if we choose not to fight, we are guaranteed to lose. So I want to end this speech with a chant that when Palestine is under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back. When Palestine is under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back. When Palestine is under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back. Stand up, fight back.
Stand up, fight back.
Stand up, fight back.
Stand up, fight back.
Stand up, fight back.
Stand up, fight back.
Hello folks, so I want to start by saying thank you to Frank for reading my words earlier, and my point about the narrative war in the U.S. A strong one that we have to understand is we as a community have to be connected to each other. So please, at the end here, if you could come up to any of the speakers you saw today, if you want to give your contact info to them to keep up with our events and get involved in helping put them together if you'd like. We need to keep this fight going. So we're going to open this up, and if anyone wants to speak, we just ask messaging of anti-imperialism. Would anyone like to speak?
Click it down and then like speak loud into it.
It's all right. Yep, you're good.
Hello.
You got this. Yeah.
Yeah, I so much appreciate what Frank was saying before. I could relate to it personally so well. I was politicized, grew up politically in late 60s, early 70s, when we were fighting the Vietnam War. Another, outrageously unjust war that slaughtered millions of Vietnamese and 58,000 Americans. And then on to the invasion of Panama and the overthrow of the Allende regime in Chile, and it's just all over the country, throughout the Americas and the Middle East and Asia, and it's so much about the bottom line. It's so much about creating markets, dominating resources, and basically the ability to exploit regions of the world. That's what it's all about. And it's always about everyday working class people out fighting these battles for the filthy rich that run the country. And it's just never ending. The Iraq War, the Afghan War, we're in Yemen, we're in Syria. It's never ending. We're all over the world, and it's a bipartisan happening too. In the United States, it doesn't matter if you're Democrat or Republican. If they need $10 billion to continue a war in the Ukraine or in Gaza, they'll have it the next morning. Our fight is to just challenge this every way we can. And I so much appreciate the Party for Socialism and Liberation for being on here and bringing us all together and doing study groups and other things that really inform us and keep us abreast of how to carry on the fight. Thank you.
I figured we can't go through this entire protest without reading the poem of Rafat Al-Arir, If I Must Die. If I must die, you must live to tell my story, to sell my things, to buy a piece of cloth and some strings, make it white with a long tail, so that a child somewhere in Gaza, while looking heaven in the eye, awaiting his dad who left in a blaze, and bid no one farewell, not even to his flesh, not even to himself, sees the kite, my kite you made, flying up above, and thinks for a moment an angel is there, bringing back love. If I must die, let it bring hope, let it be a tale. On December 6, 2023, Israel killed Rafat Al-Arir in a targeted attack on his apartment complex. We are here not just for his word, but to speak up on behalf of all Palestinians being killed in targeted attacks by Israel. Thank you.
I think we're supposed to do.
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
From the river to the sea!
From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free!
Palestine will be free!
I'm sorry, she has my list.
I'm sorry. No, it's okay. I'm sorry, I'm running everywhere today. You're busy. You're fine. Thank you. My ADHD is terrible right now. I get it. Terrible today.
Netanyahu, you can't hide!
Netanyahu, you can hide.
We charge you with genocide!
We charge you with genocide.
Netanyahu, you can't hide!
Netanyahu, you can hide.
We charge you with genocide!
We argue with genocide.
Biden, you can't hide.
Thank you, sorry.
You can't hide.
We charge you with genocide.
We charge you with genocide.
Trump, you can't hide.
Trump, you can't hide.
We charge you with genocide.
Sorry, there was a long list.
Not another penny, not another dollar.
Not another penny, not another dollar.
No more money for Israel's slaughter.
No more money for Israel's slaughter.
Not another nickel, not another dime.
Not another nickel, not another dime.
No more money for Israel's crimes.
No more money for Israel's crimes.
Not another penny, not another dollar.
Not another penny, not another dollar.
No more money for Israel's slaughter.
No more money
For Israel's slaughter.
Not another nickel, not another dime.
Not another nickel, not another dime.
No more money for Israel's crimes.
No more money for Israel's crimes.
Not another penny, not another dime. No more money for Israel's crime.
No more money for Israel's crimes. When Palestine is under attack, what do?
Stand up, fight back.
When Palestine is under attack, what do?
Fight back.
When Palestine is under attack, what do?
Stand up, fight back.
From the river to the sea,
Palestine shall be free.
Palestine will be free.
Palestine will be free.
From the river to the sea,
From the river to the sea.
Palestine will be free.
Palestine will be free.
All right. We're going to start closing up here unless there's anybody else who wants to talk. Speak now. Okay. Thank you all for coming out. There's going to be a couple announcements here after I finish this, but I just want to say the last word here is that this community has consistently been the poorest city in our state and one of the poorest cities in our region for a long time. I was born in 92, and 92 is when we became an at-risk, impoverished city. And in all of that time, we've still been waging war. What we need as a community is to come together to find the ways that we can end the sins of our country and regain control of our own lives. So there's an announcement here on how we can follow up on that, but I wanted to thank you all for coming out, because this is how we win. We can't out-money them, we can't out-might them, but we can out-organize them.
My announcement is not about that. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm a liar.
My announcement is about rides. I know there's a few people who came down here. The buses are, I had some issues with the buses today, and it's Sunday, so they don't run as well. We also have a number of people who have cars here, so we're gonna hopefully create like a system. If anyone needs a ride, we should all meet back here, the organizers and anyone who needs a ride. Also, again, please come to me if you would like to be kept up to date with things. That's our closing. I mean, Mackenzie, do you want to put some music on as we're leaving and figuring out rides? We can just party for a little bit.
I have a car. Where should I go?
All right, thank you all.
If you have a car and you're willing to give rides, and if you need a ride, we will be down here.
I got a couple of interviews.
Good job.